All right then. So we got two big releases this week, or at least big for us. We'll go with the one that everyone I think is waiting for, or at least the company is curried enough good favour that people are waiting to see what this would be like. And that's Armoured Core 6. Oh shit!
I did not get this memo. Fuck! I've got all this stuff written down.
Oh, it's all right. I'm still waiting for the Fast and Furious skins. You know,
to be fair, they've got Jujutsu Kaisen skins in Fortnite now, and it looks mad.
They got some Dragon Ball ones, and I was like, I'm not jealous about that, and I want to play that game.
Genuinely don't want to play the game, but I do want the skin.
Yes.
Bad, right? You know. So what you're saying, Armoured Core?
So Armoured Core 6 is coming out on Friday.
In context, it is the 21st. So if you're listening to this in September, it's not coming out on Friday.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's coming out on the 25th of August. We live in a timeless bubble, a hyperbolic chamber, if you would.
If you will.
Where time
just scream at each other.
Exist.
And get more powerful by screaming at each other.
Ah!
It's just YouTube in a nutshell.
That's it.
Scream therapy. Armoured Core.
Armoured Core. Well, I mean, speaking of scream therapy, you'll probably be doing a lot of screaming playing this game.
Hey! Good segue.
Why don't you tell us about the story, Gray?
Yeah, so Armoured Core 6, I've not played any Armoured Cores. Let's keep this in mind. This is just what I've heard what the story is. It looks interesting. You play as a mercenary who pilots his own Armoured Core. Completely customizable, make your own thing, kind of very much not an RPG, but the sense of you're playing as a nameless protagonist. You're just a mercenary. You're being hired by a corporation to go to the planet Rubicon, or corporations, might add, to do different missions around the procurement of this element. The element is similar to, in description, Spice from Dune. If anyone has read Dune, it's that kind of thing. This planet, it's readily available on this planet. People are mining it, corporations are trying to mine it, and there's rebellious factions which are trying to fight the corporations off, and other corporations fighting each other. You, as an Armoured Core pilot and a mercenary, get hired by these corporations to go do missions. That's basically the gist of the story. Each time you're going in, you're doing a different mission for a corporation. Sometimes you do it on your own. Sometimes you're doing it with another, like, AI-controlled AC, and you're going down and you're just doing these missions to kind of further the greed of these corporations. But you're meant to be like a soulless mercenary, so it kind of makes sense.
The story sounds really cool. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hidden elements to it, knowing that it's a FromSoftware game.
Oh, for sure.
For me, I mean, I've played one Armoured Core before, and I think that was Armoured Core 3 many years ago. And I remember just kind of touching on the gameplay of what we've seen of it. I remember when I played it, it felt more sort of like flat. And it felt more like a tank simulator, if I would say. No, I don't know. I could be wrong. People can flame me and tell me I'm wrong. No, it was never like that. But looking at the gameplay, it looks like they've added more depth to the level, the verticality, which was something I don't really remember there being when I played it. Once again, I could be wrong. But and also the bosses look really cool in it. Obviously, there's sort of like a bullet hell reminder there, but also you can see the Souls elements. There's an argument as to whether or not they may be adding too many Souls elements to the game. We'll only find out when we play it, but you know, things evolve, and I think that's just the natural progression.
I get that. I think the thing is though that in all of the gameplay reveals I've seen and stuff, there's nothing like bonfires. There is checkpointing in the missions, which there never was in the original. But I think that's more of a like quality of life thing, because people nowadays, we're not used to playing games like we did back in the old days, where you just played one mission all the way through. If you died, you started at the beginning again. These are long ass missions. If you did that to people these days, no one would want it. Do you know what I mean? They just wouldn't. They wouldn't accept it nowadays. That's not how things work. So I think that's just a quality of life thing. I don't see it being bonfires. I don't think it's like a die, go back and get your souls type thing. From what I've seen, I think the only thing that people are saying is Souls-like is just the difficulty. It's meant to be hard, and the bosses are huge. But genuinely, I feel like it actually takes more influence from other games than it does actually any of the Souls games.
Definitely, I think I think it will be its own thing, and I think once people play it, they'll see that. But I mean, it's always easy to draw similarities, and like you say, the quality of life thing. Like I remember when they did the just to touch on it, the Demon Souls remake when the PS5 first came out. Obviously, that being the first game they ever made, it was literally set up to the point where you had to complete the level, or if you died, you started from the beginning. And obviously, you could unlock shortcuts, but it wasn't like how they progressed with Dark Souls by putting more bonfires, And even though you only had like the fast travel mechanic available to you halfway through the game, they then added it into all the other games. And that's what I think. I think every time they do a game, they learn something new. It's like when you play Elden Ring, you can feel the elements of all the other games in it, but clearly it comes from that Dark Souls DNA.
Yeah.
And I think this is still going to have the Armored Core DNA within it.
Yeah.
Even if they have added other things onto it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And like, so if we look at influences, I mean, like, you know, there's no armor, there's no power. Well, I think there's no parrying or anything. No, there's like defense, melee, shooting, all that kind of stuff. But in honesty, when I look at it, I'm reminded more so of Zone of the Enders than I am anything else. Which, if for the younger people listening out there, Zone of the Enders was a very old school game. I mean, that came out when we were kids, right?
Yeah, you got Zone of the Enders with the purchase of a Metal Gear Solid 2 demo, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. And it
great
was
game.
amazing.
I'm joking. That's a great game.
Genuinely amazing. It had the verticality. The verticality gives me that. The levels weren't as grand, but we're talking about PS2 era. So this is an old game. I mean, obviously the first one I'm talking about, I'm not sure about the sequels. I didn't really play any of those, but it gives you that kind of, that vibe when you're thinking about the height of the levels, the way you fly up, the controls and the way they look, the way you fight, but also like the enemies, the bosses, that evokes Nier Automata to me more than it would ever do Dark Souls. You know, that mixture of every boss is slightly different. You've got a bullet hell boss, you've got a helicopter boss, a tank boss. There's that giant walk-in centipede robot thing, which is very much something you'd find in Nier Automata. And I think that's cool because they're putting in things from other games which are similar in genre and going, all right, that works, and let's see how that goes within our scope of Armored Core, and making it, you know, an Armored Core game, but with all these kind of aspects of different other games, which are really cool.
The good thing is, from I say rumours that have been going around, I'm pretty sure these rumours are true. They said there's going to be a demo at Gamescom, which is obviously, I mean, depending on when you're watching this, for us it's tomorrow, 22nd of August. There's going to be demos there. The embargo on the reviews, I think if I read correctly, they lift 24 hours before, so that means we should be seeing the first reviews on Thursday. Usually that's always a good sign if they're doing that. So I'm sure by then hype and anticipation would have built up a little bit more, and definitely feel inclined to go out and get it.
I think that's going to be great. It's one to look out for. If anyone in the comments lets us know if they've played it, what they think, how they're playing it. I want to know what people's cores look like. That's what I'm looking forward to as well. You know how you have like Souls fashion where people just make up... I want to see these mad fucking armored cores. Like, some of them look amazing that you can create, and I'm looking forward to creating my big ass beast of an armored core. Do you want to do an outro for it?
Yeah, I guess we should do an outro for it. What should we say? Armored Core, I barely know her. Thanks for joining us.
What was that? That was insane. Armoured Core, I barely know her. Thanks for listening. It was mad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, go on, roll with it. You've done it now, let's carry on.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining us. Preview of Armoured Core 6. Hopefully you're going to be picking it up. If you're not going to be picking it up, telling us why, and also give us your first impressions if you are picking it up. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been King Costi with Guilty Grey. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you around. Look out for more content on Armoured Core, because I'm pretty sure we'll release a 16-hour video once we've played it. We can give a full review. Yes, definitely expect to see some boss videos, and I'm sure we'll do a review video in the next couple of weeks, maybe going over some of the lore that we've discovered. Yeah, we don't get review copies. We can only do a review about 2 weeks after it because we have jobs.